Welcome to the Washington Central Unified Union School District Canvas Parent Tutorial. I am Jody, Associate Principal at U32, and I'll be joined by Arlen, Library Media Specialist at East Montpelier. We wanted to start with a little background about Canvas, our new learning management system. As a result of our experience with remote teaching and learning last spring, it became clear that a learning management system, an LMS, would be a great asset for our return to school this fall. A good LMS provides many useful capabilities for both in-person and hybrid or remote learning scenarios. Further, a good LMS enhances teacher collaboration and streamlines communication for students, caregivers, and educators as we all work together to support student learning. Using a consistent LMS across all classes and grade levels, pre-K to graduation, is a student-centered, family-centered, and staff-centered practice that will support our students' path to proficiency in our student learning outcomes. For families with students at both the elementary and middle high school levels, they can log into the same system to check on the progress of their children. Families can view assignment details and due dates. Canvas includes an internal email system for direct communication between families and teachers. In addition, Canvas has been aligned to our reporting of standards across the district. Located under the current information section of COVID-19 link on any of our district or school websites, you can access the parent help resources for Canvas. So if you've not logged in at all yet, you want to go to the Canvas for Parents information site on our website. And you'll see not only the space where you log in, and again, this is different from teacher and student login pages, and the information that came in the first email to parents about how to set up their Canvas accounts. If you never received that email account, there are a couple things that could have happened. One, we don't have your email address accurately. Check IC for that, Infinite Campus. Or two, perhaps there were two guardians with the same email address, a shared email address, and that unfortunately doesn't work with our system. And so if that's the case, please let us know to update one of the parent accounts to another email address and let us know that you're ready for that Canvas invitation. So I'm going to log in as WCUUSD test parent to show you a little bit about how the portal works. As test parent, I have my dashboard set up with course cards, and they show the course cards of my students' courses, whether it's the U32 test student or the East Montpelier Elementary School Harvey Rabbit. You can set it up in a different way. It's also important to go in and check those notifications. We do have a video about that, but just really quickly, you can go in and set up how do you want your notifications, how frequently. This one's on a weekly summary. This one's on a weekly summary. Maybe I would like to turn that one off. This one is immediate. If something is graded, I get immediate notification. And if I turn this on, I get immediate notification with the score in my email. Any invitations, I get that. If there's late grading, I get a daily summary. So it's just a click on the notification piece to change it. And those are your options. So anyways, I'll go back to my dashboard as a parent, and I can see some of the things. This is kind of my students' to-do list, things coming up. I can click on here and view grades for my students. And you can see that there is no grade, and that's important to notice. It doesn't mean that there's actually no grade. It means that there's percentages are off because we're not using a traditional grading system. And so you need to click in to see a little more about it and notice that test student has not been doing a whole lot of assignments. And so missing. Ooh, a late one. Got one. Missing. Got this one in for 2 out of 4. Looks like there's a comment. Sounds like you have a plan for your project. I noticed that in this proposal, you mentioned that you want to speak to people, which is an admirable goal. To earn a 3, I would like to see a clearer statement of that goal. This is awesome. It's wonderful to see the comments that our students can receive. You can also look in and take a look at assignments. So you can go in and actually see what the assignment is. I can go to my other test class. This is branching out. So in branching out, I'll notice that on the home page, there are recent announcements, and I can go to modules, get something a little different when I look into this class. And it looks like in this class, branching out, there's one-time assignments, ongoing weekly assignments, and then there's some topic-specific pieces like researching, documenting, planning your study. And branching out is a self-guided, self-directed type of learning opportunity here at U32. A lot of your classes, your traditional classes, are going to have week 1, week 2, or unit specific modules that you might see. You can also, sometimes you just see modules, sometimes for classes you just see assignments. It depends on what the teacher has decided to try to make it easier for students. Everyone set up their page a little differently. And so in this case, it's still the same assignments that were in the modules. You're just looking at them from a different perspective, so to speak. So there's overdue assignments, there's upcoming assignments, there's undated ones, and then past assignments in this case. And I want to go back into grades and just take a really quick look at what does it look like when a teacher uses the learning outcomes and a rubric. So for example, I can see that here, mentor letter assignment, the teacher has used a rubric and the score is a 6 and it meets expectations. So I can go into that mentor letter assignment. So I can go into the mentor letter assignment and take a look at it. So I see that there's a grade of ME, which meet expectations. I also see that it's missing, which is a little bit challenging for me. So I'm going to move my picture out of the way and notice that the comment says, "Thanks for sharing your letter with me. Please take a photo and upload here so that your letter is documented as you handwrote it." That now I understand why it's missing. My student didn't submit anything here online. I can also go in and look at the rubric. And again, move myself here. Actually, I'll just get rid of myself. And as a parent, I can go in and see what was on the rubric. So I see 8.2, 8B and D. I can tell you that if it's an 8 to start off with, that's a transferable skill. And 8.2 is around communication, and it's, in this case, written communication. And so I know that my student demonstrated proficiency there. And here's another communication, demonstrated appropriate social communication. So it looks like this letter that I can't currently see met proficiency. So that's exciting. It's good to see that test is doing some proficient work. Oops. I go back into the grades and I see another one where I see a late, it's 8 out of 15, and it says SA. So I want to take a look at that one. What's going on for test there? Here it's got submitted today, November 3rd, and it says seek assistance. So what's going on? I see again there's 8.2. I remember that from the last assignment. It's a communication piece, but it looks like there's no evidence on 8.6. What is that? Set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely goals. Great. So know that you can click in to get a longer description. Some of our teachers have added additional rubrics that have the scale language for you. So it'll be in between each of these. The number of points to get meeting expectation depends on the number of scales within the rubric. So the rubric is the entire piece here, the learning plan rubric in this case, and then each one of these is a scale. And there is language that goes on the scale. In some classes, you're going to see it's attached to the assignment, so your student might need to share it with you. In other cases, it's been embedded here. This is not the case for branching out yet. It may be at some point. But I just wanted you to be aware that there are rubrics, and that's where we're seeing the proficiency ratings. Again, another way to look at that is to go back into the grades, and you'll notice that there's assignments here. There's this learning mastery piece here. And for you as a parent, you can look down through and see that they had 2 opportunities for creative and practical problem solving. Test had 2 opportunities to master that so far. He or she has not done any of those. There were 4 opportunities for effective and expressive communication, mastered 1. So you can get a grip on kind of what are the standards that your student has been assessed on already, and how many of them have they managed proficiency or above in. So I think that's a really important piece to share, and it gives you a little more insight into their learning.
Hi, this video is going to take a look at Canvas from the perspective of an elementary school parent. So the first thing to do is to make sure that you're logging in using the parent portal and not the student and teacher portal. Um, you can get to it under the COVID-19 information, current information, and then selecting Canvas for Parents, and you'll see it is the top link. I am a parent of a child in the district, and so I have it bookmarked. So if I click Parent Canvas, this is what the login looks like, and I'll put in the user credentials for my test parent. And when I log in, if I'm on my dashboard, I will see the course cards. So that's what you call these, for any of the courses that my children are enrolled in. This test parent has a child at U32 called test student, and I can see it says observing. It tells me which child. This parent also has a child at East Montpelier Elementary School, and that child is Harvey Rabbit. The middle and high school student is only enrolled in branching out and in high school band. There would be many more course cards for this student if they had a full enrollment roster at the high school or middle school. And same for Harvey Rabbit. So Harvey Rabbit is enrolled in Mrs. Fitch's homeroom, 3rd grade, and in a 3rd grade library and technology class. If this child were enrolled in art and physical education and so on, we would see those other classes. A note about that this year, many elementary schools are doing specials on a rotating basis. And so the child might see a course card for a period of time, like they might see a health class for the month that they have PE and health, but they might not see it later in the year if that course is not active. The teacher has the ability to publish and unpublish courses. So if the course is not active with students, the teacher may choose to not have it visible to the children. And that would be the same at the middle and high school. If a child was taking a course that was not a year-long course, it's possible that course cards will come on and off depending on the enrollment cycle. Uh, I can click into any of these courses if I want to see what my child's assignments are or upcoming work. I could look at the calendar if the teacher is publishing information out to the calendar. I can also manage my notifications as a parent. We have a whole other video on this, but that's under account and notifications. That's where you can see that. Um, if you see on the side, I can see any upcoming assignments for my children. This is again showing me all of my children. So my test student at the middle and high school and Harvey Rabbit at the elementary school. I can see all of the upcoming assignments. I could view them on the calendar. I can also, at the bottom, you'll see it says View Grades. And if I click on View Grades, I will see, I can click and see how my older child is doing, but I can also look and see how Harvey Rabbit's doing. Um, you'll see it says 83%. That's a little bit of something that's sort of hanging on from how grades, from a grading system that uses a 100-point scale, and we're using a modified version of that. So really, you want to ignore that. You want to drill down by clicking on the link next to it, and you can really see how the child is doing. So, for example, I can see that my child has a missing assignment, an excused assignment, was meeting or exceeding, is progressing or meeting. And you'll notice there's this little icon here. This is a comment icon. And if I click on it, because I am that child's parent, I can see the comment. The other thing to note is that I will see any of the any links that the teacher has turned on for my student, but I might not be able to see all of the content there. So, for example, if I go to assignments, and if I look at this assignment. So here I am. This assignment is worth 6 points. I can see my child didn't do it. Um, this is just an example assignment that I use for the purposes of Harvey Rabbit, so it doesn't have a lot of information in it. But what I can see is that there was a Google assignment piece, a Google Doc attached to it for my child to use to complete their work. But it says you don't have access to this course. My child does, but I don't as the observer. So in this case, if I needed more information, I would need to reach out to the teacher directly, and I could do that through the inbox. Um, or I would need to ask my child for more information and have my child log in so I could see what this looked like.
So again, if you would like to access the Canvas parent portal by your cell phone or device, you can get the app, and that's at iTunes or Google Play. There's the Canvas parent app. Type in Canvas parent to search for it. Should have this icon. If it's red, it's the student one. Blue is the parent one. So first you want to download it, and then once you have it all downloaded onto your phone, you'll open it up and it'll look like this. And you first have to find your school. The easiest way to find your school is to type in WCUUSD, that's the district piece, and notice you'll have the option of the parent guardian version or the student teacher version. You want this parent guardian version right here. And then you will type in your email. And if it's your very first time logging in, you type in your email. You can actually skip that because you can go to forgot password, click that, it'll ask you for your email, and then it will send you stuff. So it'll send you the access point and you can create your password. So if you've never used it yet and you haven't created a password, then you just need to go to forgot password on the app and then type in your email address that's associated with your account and go back and check it. So check your email and you'll have the information you need. Once you get in there, you'll see that you can access your students. You will have, so I have test student here. I have test students 2 classes, and I just want to be very clear that test student isn't in as many classes as a normal or traditional U32 student. So a 7th grader, 8th grader, all the way up through high school, they're going to have a lot more classes here. So you're going to, on the dashboard on the computer, there's going to be a lot more course cards. And here on your app, you're going to have a lot more different classes to choose from and take a look at. But for the purposes of this video, I thought 2 was enough. So you can click onto the branching out, for example, for test, and I can go to the front page, which gives me an overview of the program or whatever the teacher has put into there. And I can also go to the grades and see that, just as I saw before, test has not been doing much. Not been doing much. I can also click in. So in this case, I decided to look at this learning plan assignment that I saw had up to 15 points, and that for me means multiple rubrics are attached. If it's 6 points, that's probably 2 rubrics. 2 proficients will equal 6, 2 threes equal 6. So that's how we're doing a lot of these assignments here at the high school. And so I clicked into this learning plan to see a little bit more about it. And as a parent, I can see these assignment overview and guidelines if they're provided by the teacher. And if there's an embedded document, which it doesn't show on this, but there is, if it's a Google document, I'm not necessarily going to be able to access that. In fact, I'm not going to unless I'm a student or teacher within the district. So you're again, you're going to want to sit down next to your student and ask them to show you that or to share that Google Doc with you so that you know what it is that they should be working on. And if I look at test students' other class of band, I can see again the front page for band, a little bit of information about that. And that's where also the front pages are where you're going to see the open house videos posted. So be sure to check those out tomorrow. Or today, if depending on when you get this video. And I can see, again, the grades portion and see that test has not submitted way too many assignments. Let's face it, way too many assignments. I got to get test up and moving. I can also go to on that screen where I see test student, I can click on this piece and I can switch to my other child, Harvey Rabbit, who's at East Montpelier School. I can add a student. I haven't toyed with that, so I don't know what that would do. I can also click up here and I would get this information so I can look at my inbox, can manage my students, I can log out and someone else can log in, that sort of thing. So that's a little bit more about what it's like to use the app on your cell phone or other mobile device. What are the trouble spots? Well, again, if you can't log in or you don't have an account, either we have the wrong email address in Infinite Campus, or both parents, both guardians are using the same email address and we can't have a shared email address for 2 different people. So that would need to be remedied and then we can set up your account. If you can't see your student's assignment, there's an error message when you click in to try to see what the assignment is. That means it's an embedded Google Doc and that can only be seen in district. The only way to change that is for the teacher or student to make it so that anyone can see the assignment. So if you get that error message, you can ask your student to share that assignment with you so you can see what it is that they should be working on or have done. If you can't access at all from an email notification, it's because you're receiving a copy of your student's notification and the link in the email is for the student portal, not the parent portal. So Hello, I'm Jody, Associate Principal at U32, and today Arlen Brooklyn and I are going to be sharing some Canvas parent tutorial tips for you. Hopefully this helps you to be able to navigate Canvas. And I have cats. We're hoping to help you access Canvas a little more. My cat wants to help too. Why Canvas? Not the. So we felt like my cat's going to join me because I can't seem to record this without her. So lost my train of thought though. Anyways, this is a good platform for using both in person and outside of school. And we felt like it was a good way to start off our school year, have our faculty and staff ready to try using it and start training our students in it. There are some great features that allow, there's stuff going on the porch too. It's great. Yeah, I'll try again. As you may or may not know, Canvas is a learning management system. What we learned in the spring is that having multiple different systems of trying to support students across the district could be confusing, didn't allow for access for families. I have help. And never mind, it's not helpful. Thank you.